Right, our next guest, slight change to the programme. Hopefully nobody will be disappointed. This is a member of Ayrshire Bed and Breakfast Association that also runs her own B&B in Girvan. Let me quickly read out her Twitter bio, because I thought it was lovely. Running a small luxury house hotel in scenic southern Scotland close to the sea. Passionate about local food and homegrown produce. Please welcome Susan Crosthwaite.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. As many of you know, I am very passionate about tourism and wear various tourism hats. And today I'm actually wearing the ABBA hat. Now, ABBA is all not what has just been talked about B&Bs. ABBA does have a very colourful brochure with some very good website addresses in. And ABBA stands for the Ayrshire Bed and Breakfast Association, who are very dynamic and who have got together to create a breakfast association which is easily found by people when they come to Ayrshire. And it's about promoting all that's best about B&Bs, and particularly looking after their guests and looking after their itineraries and all the things that they like to do, and sourcing all the best places to eat. So one of the things that they did last year was to get together and talk to all their clientele and to each other about all their favourite places to eat in Ayrshire. And in actual fact, we're really blessed in Ayrshire with some fantastic places to eat, from Michelin-starred Braidwoods in the north, and Glenap Castle in the south, who have had Michelin stars, but because their chefs get them and then go and set up their own places, they have to work terribly hard again to recreate the next Michelin star. But that's part of the course when you're in a very rural location, as has happened to the Three Chimneys on Skye as well. But it's about the Ayrshire Bed and Breakfast Association. So what they did was they decided that they would suggest lots of places, the best places to eat in Ayrshire, to their members. So they created the Ayrshire and Arran restaurant guide. Sorry, the Ayrshire Restaurants ABBA guide. It has 36 recommendations of all the best places for their guests to go and eat after they've had their days out doing all the wonderful things to do in Ayrshire. And then this year, in the Year in Food and Drink, they talked to the Ayrshire tourism team and came up with the idea of creating special breakfasts and talking about their breakfasts. Now, down at Costas Country House where I am, I'm passionate about local food, homegrown food, and eating healthily as well as eating well, and creating different kinds of breakfasts. And so throughout the Ayrshire Bed and Breakfast Association, we have produced some really fantastic cards, some of which that have been distributed on your table with some really interesting breakfast suggestions. And what's special about these is that they are based on home baking, home produce, homemade jams and preserves and bread, and finding all your ingredients locally, using everything that the area has to offer. And being part of the Ayrshire Food Network, which I've also been forever here, there are some terrific suppliers. But one of the things that was said earlier is that we need to convince some B&B owners that it is worth going that extra mile to use local produce and not to go and buy your produce in a hypermarket or a supermarket, because your guests deserve the best, because then they will go away and tweet what they've had for breakfast, and they will take that photograph, and they will go away with a memory that they have had the best breakfast in Ayrshire. Another hat that I wear is down in Ballantrae. We're a long way from anywhere, and we really like to get as many of you down there as guests who come and find us anyway, because it's somewhere very special. But it's at the end of Ayrshire. It's on the Dumfries and Galloway border. So we're having a food festival down there, a celebration of all that's great to eat. And many of the producers in Ayrshire are coming to support us. We've got pop-up restaurants, and ABBA will be there as well. And we hope that you will all join us there and like our Facebook page, which is the Ballantrae Festival of Food and Drink. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Before we move on, in a second we're all going to be leaving the room to go and join what we're calling the Buzz Sessions, which, you know, it really was just an excuse for me to put a picture of Buzz Lightyear on the screen, because I think that's cool. But ties in nicely with some of the content from the sessions. We might not be going to infinity and beyond, but we're certainly going upstairs and beyond to hear about future developments with regard to spaceport and things like that. Before we do that, just very quickly, I realise due to trying to keep on schedule that we haven't had Q&A in a while. Is there any questions is there any questions for any of the speakers since the lunch break? We will gladly take a few just now. If any of you have any questions you wish to raise, give me a bit of a show of hands. Yep, Johnny, can you run around with that? Thank you.
Hello, this is Arran Mobile, Claire and Julie here. I loved the presentation that you did, Gary, on digital media and how we all need to expand. I'm sure all of us in here, however, are wondering about the actual problems of broadband coverage, which is at the root of a lot of this communication, and which businesses now cannot exist without. And I wondered what your thoughts were on what coverage is like just now and what we can do to expand that coverage and move towards that.
It's an excellent question, and I'll be honest, I'll probably tell you that I'm not the best person to answer it, because I wish I could control it. I have no influence with that. I feel for you. I do a lot of work with businesses across Ayrshire. Somebody mentioned the issues in Arran. I do a lot of work over in Arran, and my God, I have difficulty functioning over there because of the lack of connectivity. It's not just here. The Highlands and Islands is exactly the same. I do a lot of work up there, and there are real problems for businesses who, as you say, in order to compete, require a good, solid connection to have that digital capability. All I can say is my own experience, it's slowly getting better. There are some initiatives to roll out high-speed broadband across numerous locations, across Ayrshire, Kilmarnock, Highlands and Islands and the like. I wish I could help speed that up personally quicker myself, because it would make my job a whole load easier. And again, one of the things which is also slowly but surely getting better, Ros alluded to it earlier, is, well, if we ignore the broadband and the Wi-Fi, the 3G and the 4G network slowly getting better. I'm sure people in Arran will throw things at me when I say that, because I know what it's like. I wish I could have a better answer for you. If there is anybody in the room with a better answer, or who can point us in the right direction as to who to lobby, then we absolutely all should, because it needs to be better.
Gary?
Yes?
I live in rural France where there's no signal in my village.
I'd still rather live in rural France than...
And because I needed it for my work and for business, I don't know if you get it, we get it from satellite.
Yep, satellite is an option.
It's reasonably inexpensive, but I get a full speed, and I've gone from 3 days to download a document to 4 minutes.
Yep, satellite broadband is an option. In fact, nice tie-in, there's a local business who does exactly that. They do satellite broadband in the area. They're called Internet Everywhere, I believe, who recently won some Ayrshire awards.
Internet Anywhere. Yeah.
Yep. So again, we're not promoting one over the other, but if that's what the options we have to rely on to do business, and I suppose one way to look at it is an investment for your business, which you have that potentially the competition won't have. So it's up to you. I wish it was better. A few more questions. Come on, Johnny, run. I ran, come on.
Thank you. Robert McElroy of a self-catering business on Arran. I just wanted to pick up with you on something you say. You've mentioned several times today, particularly this afternoon, about TripAdvisor. I mean, TripAdvisor is very open to abuse.
Absolutely it is, yes.
I mean, I won't name the business, but I know of one cafe come tea room come restaurant on Arran with very high ratings, and the rate, it's falsified by the owners. You can tell by the the use of advertising slogans in the, on TripAdvisor, etc. It really, you should take TripAdvisor with a pinch of salt.
I mean, first of all, I can't really comment on that one example.
No.
I don't know the one you're talking about, and I would need to see it to pass my own comment on it. You're absolutely right, though. TripAdvisor is very often abused. It's very often abused by certain, not that I'm suggesting this is the case, certain businesses doing TripAdvisor. There's a concept in our world called astroturfing, which is basically telling the world how good you are through yourself and your own staff, posing as independent third parties. Where that happens, and as you've maybe alluded to, most people detect it, so I think it doesn't really do them any favours in the long term. There is also abuse by TripAdvisor users, who for whatever reason, maybe you're my competition, or maybe you didn't really give me such a bad experience, but I'm going to tell the world that you're a 1 rating and you should burn, damn it. There are people like that in the world. And I'd like to think that the general users, the public, the consumers and the tourists are very quickly able to feed out the good from the bad and know what's a credible, relevant and accurate review about a business. At the end of the day, we have to play the game. Because if we're not playing the game, we're going to lose out simply by not being there. But I understand the concerns.
Hello, I'm Noel Lyon, a tourist guide. This is just a general question. You've found some fantastic information today, and I just wondered how available it is on the web from individual speakers. I've been frantically taking notes in the old-fashioned way here, but I'm sure I've missed out a lot of excellent information. And I know 1 or 2 individuals are referred to their website, but maybe not them all.
First of all, that was very kind of you to offer a photocopy of all your notes to everyone in the room. That will be a great help. In all seriousness, all of the presentations, unless any of the speakers object, and I don't think any of them will, all of the presentations will be made available to you later on. You will be emailed a follow-up link.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you. One more. Anybody else?
Hello, I'd like us to know from Susan what is the date of the first Ballantrae Food and Drink Festival?
It's Sunday the 10th of May, and it is from 12 o'clock noon until 6 o'clock in the evening. And if you happen to want to come by bus, there will be some buses laid on or from the rural communities like Bar Hill and Colmanel and Pinwerry, and from Stranraer and Girvan for those who don't have access to cars or just want to do some serious wine or whiskey tasting.
Does the bus stop at Largs on the way home? I'm in. Okay, thank you very much. Apologies, I know there's still some questions. Please keep them, address them to the individuals concerned as we go. We do need to move on. We're going to do, as I've mentioned, the buzz sessions. And we're going to leave the main hall, and we're going to either go up to the Dean Suite, where we have Ayrshire and Arran tourism team who will give not only some great information, but there's also a chance to win a prize, a number of prizes I believe, which I think is highly unfair to the other session where it doesn't mention any prizes here. One of the prizes will be a stay at the Arran Resort in the brand new suite, which is due to open I think in the next few days. Following that presentation, we will also be hearing from Stuart McIntyre discussing the UK spaceport. So a great talk, and I'm sure the demand will be huge for it. In the other suite, in the Wallace suite, we have Visit Scotland, the first session talking about sustainable tourism and the bottom line, and then at 3:30 a session regarding Taste Our Best, and of course, as before, as it was during the lunch break, the Visit Scotland Hub is also available in the Earlston suite, and they will be delighted to speak to you and answer all your questions.